The NFL season is not unlike Broadway. Every team is guaranteed 16 performances under the big lights, with a handful of the top productions earning an extended run, the NFL playoffs. Before opening on Broadway, every production has previews, the NFL version being a 4-act rehearsal called the Preseason, a time to refine the script, get the timing down, work out the kinks, audition new talent. Last week's off-Broadway debut in the swamps of New Jersey was less than worthy of a curtain call. Lines were flubbed, cues missed, the timing clearly off. It wasn't Falcon football. This week, the Falcons took to the practice field with renewed zeal and a want to get things right. The play's the thing in Act 2 tonight, where the script calls for a more polished production worthy of their home stage, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And here we are back in Atlanta, the first time that the Falcons are home to play a preseason game. And these Falcons, they take the field in front of their home fans, and they are so excited to do so as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello everybody, I am Justin Kutcher. Welcome to preseason game number 2. Last week, let's be honest, it did not go as planned in all facets of the game. This week, though, we have a lot to look forward to. We hope to see the return of Julio Jones. We hope to see the return of Devontae Freeman. And as we bring in Coy Wire, Coy, if you have those two guys, Matt Ryan and the rest of the offense, I think it's safe to say we're not going to see a shutout.
No, I don't think so. I think everyone in Atlanta, Justin, wants to see Julio Jones taking a ride in the Benzo with Calvin Ridley sitting in the passenger seat. Matt Ryan will look to feed the first rounder out of Bama. And if Devontae Freeman does get back on the feet, he'll remind everyone why he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. On defense, get your popcorn ready. A top 10 defense in the Falcons going against an offense full of freaks and firepower. Can Duke Riley rang up the league's leading rusher from a year ago? Can Keanu Neal go toe-to-toe with Travis Kelce at tight end? And how about Grady Jarrett? Down in the trenches, will he pressure new quarterback for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes? Let's see. Let's go.
So with all those question marks, that brings us to the Home Depot tools of the game.
For offense, ace the basics. Last week, there were 2 penalties on 1 3-and-out, and that was the starters. That set the tempo for the whole game. They need to execute. Defense, the D-lines is still the elephant in the room. Who wants to step up for 2 key departures from a season ago? It's time to get it, Justin.
Well, last week they were in the swamp. Tonight they're in their comforts of their own home, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's the Falcons hosting the Chiefs. Atlanta Falcons preseason football is presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And sponsored in part by Bud Light, game day's favorite light lager. And by AT&T, more for your thing, that's our thing. Here in Atlanta, inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Time now for the Equifax Sideline Report. Let's go down to DJ Shockley.
The team didn't play to the standard that you wanted last week. What do you expect to see in preseason game number 2?
Yeah, we really have high standards for one another, and this group, they're up for it. So sometimes I told the team there is no progress without the struggle, and now is that kind of opportunity to show the kind of effort to one another, what we stand for. So we're really excited for tonight. We're really excited to be here with the fans. So this environment, this team, this city, we can't wait.
Thank you. Good luck. Go get them.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, the roof is closed here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There was a threat of rain, so we'll play with the roof closed. The Chiefs, they won the toss. They have deferred, so the Falcons will receive. Back deep is Calvin Ridley. Let's see what the rookie, the first rounder, can do. Will he get a chance to return this kickoff from Harrison Butker? We're all set here in preseason game number 2. Ridley will get a chance from the 1. And Ridley slips through 1 tackle, makes a move, uses a stiff arm. There goes Ridley towards the sideline, runs out of bounds at the 35 for a 35-yard return.
Woo! At home has some goosebumps on the back of their neck. The last time Calvin Ridley was playing in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, he won the national championship. His mom said he ran before he walked as a baby. And now you're seeing him run out here in an Atlanta Falcons uniform. It's a pretty sight, isn't it? Showing what he can do outside of the receiver position. Add some
dynamic weaponry to the special teams phase of the game.
So you know what he can do as a receiver. Now as a return man, he can add something else to this dangerous Falcons offense. As Matt Ryan is under center, it is Tevin Coleman starting in the backfield on first down. Ryan throws to Ridley. It's incomplete as he is defended by Kendall Fuller. Let's take a look at our SunTrust players to watch on offense.
Well, certainly Calvin Ridley is going to be one of them, and Matt Ryan's been watching him, right? He threw a ball to him there on the first pass. Austin Hooper, I want to see him come to life along with Eric Saubert there at the tight end position. Ito Smith, we've been hearing about his ability to catch the rock and be a special team force as well.
Second down and 10 here for the Falcons. Last week it was a 3-and-out for the first team. They're hoping to obviously improve on that this week. The handoff to Coleman, tries to cut it back, and he goes down, will lose a yard as he's down at the 34-yard line. Credited with the capital is Ukie Eligwe, second-year player out of Georgia Southern. So it's now 3rd and 11, not the start the Falcons wanted here after the nice 35-yard kickoff return by the rookie Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, great starting position, and the frustration you can think about last week, the 3-and-out to start the game with the starters. Long way to go on third down here.
Empty backfield on 3rd and long. We do not see Julio Jones. We do not see Devontae Freeman. Play clock down to 1. Ryan stepping up in the pocket. Matt Ryan lofting one to his tight end. Hooper has the first down as he lowers that shoulder. Austin Hooper, he could be the X factor in this offense, just picked up 28 yards.
The Chiefs going, it's some zone coverage there. Good coverage downfield. I love Matt Ryan buying some time, and Austin Hooper not giving up on it, finding his quarterback, mirroring him downfield. Matt getting the pass off. Big third down conversion there into Chiefs territory.
So 1st and 10 at the 37 of Kansas City. The handoff to Coleman. This time he does cut it back, and Coleman has a big gain. He's got the first down all the way to the 22-yard line as he picks up 15.
That's the way you run a stretch zone in this offensive scheme under Steve Sarkisian. Alex Mack doing a great job of washing that backside, the center, and one cut and go. That's how you hit it. That is how you hit the hole in this offense. Tevin Coleman, outstanding cut there. Seeing that defense running fast, cutting it right back against the grain.
Back-to-back first downs here for the Falcons offense. A couple of big plays here for Atlanta. Deep in Kansas City territory. They'll give it to Coleman again, and he slips a tackle. Coleman inside the 10. He's down at the 7. Another 15-yard run. Kendall Fuller with a tackle, but it's 1st and goal here for Atlanta.
Offensive line absolutely making their presence felt. Brandon Fusco there with the pancake block, putting his man on his back. Tevin Coleman again. This outside zone, what they want to do is they want to hit that corner, right? Last play, it wasn't there. Put his foot in the ground, got vertical. That time he was able to beat the defense towards the edge.
Well, now it's red zone opportunity. Ito Smith is in. He takes the handoff, and Smith, he is up to the 4, gets 3. It is 2nd and goal from the 4. The red zone efficiency is an area that this Falcons team wants to improve on. You see the numbers last year compared to their Super Bowl run of 2016.
Yeah, I like the balance there, Justin. Some are wondering, are we trying to force the throw too much? Are we not having any sort of run game down there to keep the defense honest? No, it's pretty balanced of what Sarkisian is calling down there. This is vital. Get it in the zone.
He's played by Matt Ryan to Hooper. Hooper leapfrogs, touchdown Falcons! Austin Hooper made that big play on 3rd down. Now he gets the touchdown.
You see Austin Hooper there really selling that run, sticking his foot in the ground, then bam, you're coming out a boot, out the back. Great throw by Matt, putting it on the money, and the athleticism of the man out of Stanford. Austin Hooper leaping over the defender for the touchdown. That feels good. That's the way you start a football game.
Steven Nelson was the player that Austin Hooper hurdled. And Steven Nelson, slow to get up, is being helped off the field. Nelson, the fourth-year player out of Oregon State. But a nice play call by Steve Sarkisian. And then watch the athleticism that you talked about. Wow. And you could see the leg hit the head of Steven Nelson. Austin Hooper last year had 2 touchdowns in the entire season, 49 catches for 526 yards. But his offensive coordinator, his head coach, they said this guy could be the X factor, because when you have weapons like Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, you double somebody, who picks it up, he could be the guy.
Yeah, and what I like about Hooper is he dedicated himself to this team, to this offense in the offseason, sacrificed family time to stay in Atlanta and work with Matt Ryan. That rhythm showing right there, baby.
David Marvin converts the extra point. A good start for the Falcons. 7-0 here in the first quarter. Start for the Falcons, 7-0 as they went 65 yards on 7 plays. The touchdown, 4-yard touchdown pass from Matt Ryan to Austin Hooper. Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator, in his second season here with the Falcons. And everyone's hoping you see that improvement from year 1 to year 2, like we saw a couple years ago with Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan. As Matt Boucher will kick off here to Damian Williams. A short kick. Williams takes it at the 9. And Williams will get tackled as he comes across the 25, but a flag is thrown. Our referee for tonight's game is Walt Coleman.
Flag came in kind of late. I'm wondering if it's going to be a hold on the Chiefs here at the end of the play. Duke Riley ended up making the tackle there for the Falcons.
During the return, holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It was a 21-yard return. Now that turns into an 11-yard return after the 10-yard penalty. As Kansas City, it has been said that they will play their starters for the first half of this game, which really is a great test, Coy, for the defense of the Falcons.
Yeah, what a great dress rehearsal, right, for these starters and potential starters. The Chiefs are loaded with talent all across the board. The 5th-ranked offense from a year ago.
Patrick Mahomes on first down, the handoff to Kareem Hunt. And Hunt gets up to the 18-yard line, picks up 4, 2nd down and 6. And let's take a look at our SunTrust players to watch on defense.
Well, Isaiah Oliver is a great long talent out there at the corner. We'll see him come to life tonight as he's tested by this high-powered Chiefs offense. Duke Riley, I want to see how he improves from preseason week 1 to preseason week 2. He struggled a bit last week, played a lot of reps. We'll see if he can make a name for himself tonight.
2nd down and 6. Handoff again is to Hunt. What'd you think about that right there against the leading rusher from last year?
What a challenging Kareem Hunt, right? He led the league in rushing as a rookie, over 1,300 yards. He had 500 more nearly through the air. Explosive, big runs. That's something the Falcons have been good about. But now here on 3rd down, with Travis Kelce, a tight end, come to life, and they have an explosive receiver too, and Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes is the guy calling the signals now for Kansas City.
Sammy Watkins, a new addition. He goes in motion. Patrick Mahomes in the shotgun here on 3rd and 4. Pressure coming. Mahomes throws, completes the pass, but there is Hill with the catch, but Poole is there for the tackle, a pickup of 3, and that's what they want to see. Speed on defense as Brian Poole comes and closes before the first down can be made.
Incredible job by Brian Poole on this play. That is a fast man that he tracked down in man-to-man coverage and prevented a first down. That's a big win for this Falcons defense to start the game.
So a 3-and-out is forced by the Falcons defense. Dustin Colquitt on to punt. Justin Hardy is back to receive at the 30. A good high punt, driving Hardy back to the 19-yard line. The flag is thrown as Hardy is across the 35. And this one might be coming back.
They're going to call this on Ito Smith, if I'm not mistaken, the young rook there, trying to make a play. He didn't put his hands on the defender. You can see, if we get a replay here, he tried to pull off, but he still got contact there, and referee was ready to throw
During the
that
return,
flag.
illegal block in the back, number 25. Return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
There you'll see Ito Smith at the top of your screen right there. And you can see he tried to pull his hands back, but he still made contact.
Well, with that penalty, it means a longer field. On the bright side, Matt Ryan gets more field to play with, right? Don't go anywhere. Came on the air here tonight hoping we would see Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman. I think when you wear the old school Jordans, it's safe to say we're not going to see Julio Jones here tonight.
Hey, Julio came prepared too. He's killing them right now with those old school Jordans.
I'm a big fan of those, although I'd be a bigger fan if I saw him on the field. But it's a coach's decision. Both guys are healthy. Here on first down, play action pass across the middle is complete to Marvin Hall, and Marvin Hall has another first down. This time it goes for 16 yards.
Last week, no kind of run game to speak of for the Falcons offense, right? You didn't have to keep the defense. They could just sit back on the pass all day, right? Well, now you have the run game working. You get some passing lanes open. Who better to find them than Matt Ryan? Marvin Hall, great route there, and finding the open window.
The Falcons last week in the first half against the Jets had a total of 37 yards. They had 65 yards on the first drive. Handoff to Coleman. A flag is thrown. Another flag is thrown. Two flags on the play, maybe offsetting. We'll wait to see.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, number 91, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's against Derek Naughty. He was naughty on that play.
Bad boy. But good for the Falcons, right? And what I like to see, even though it was a penalty on that play, the offensive line getting to the second level this week. Last week it was a stalemate. They're not getting any sort of push up the field. There's no way to run and find a crease in the outside stretch zone in that. Watch these offensive linemen fire to the second level this week, get some movement.
1st and 10 from the 36 here for the Falcons. Already up 7-0 here in the first quarter. Their defense forced to 3-0. Ryan steps up, throws over the middle for Ridley, who makes the catch as he falls to the ground. Calvin Ridley, 36 yards against David Amerson.
What I liked about this, Steve Sarkisian, put the young man in motion, get the DB moving, and then send that young man straight up the field. He ran a great route, pushed the defender outside with his route, and then cut it back inside. Matt Ryan was just sitting on that, waiting for it, almost like he knew he was going to get open with all that speed.
All the way down to the 28 of Kansas City. The toss to Coleman. He had his fullback Ricky Ortiz in there. He picks up 2, and that's a battle that we'll wait to see. Ricky Ortiz against Luke McNitt, who will get that fullback position for the Falcons.
Yeah, and that's one of the spots that's wide open right here. He did a heck of a job last week right there. He kind of lost his balance. Heck of a job there by the defender to use his hands and shut off and come and make a play. But we're seeing this offense use Fusco there at that right guard. Use Ricky Ortiz. Get this ground game going.
2nd down and 8. Ryan. The quick pass complete to Mohamed Sanu. And Sanu is up to the 21, gets 5. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 here for the Falcons.
Fellas, I had a chance to talk with Coach Steve Sarkisian before the game, and he talked about how he wanted to get Calvin Ridley involved in this game early. And one thing to do when you have a veteran quarterback is he did a good job of holding that safety to the left side and giving Ridley a chance to really beat that defensive back.
Well, I tell you what, he had already the return on the kickoff, the opening kickoff, and now that catch as Ito Smith takes the handoff, tries to fight for the first down, won't get it as he gets just across the 20. So 4th down is coming up. Let's see if the Falcons go for it here on what we're going to call 4th and 2. I mean, already, last week versus this week, it is a completely different team. They're playing with confidence, and this is what confidence does. They say, you know what, let's go for it. 4th and 2, empty backfield here for Matt Ryan.
There's Hooper there. That's who they like in 3rd down situations. Looks like we have man-to-man across the board. Who's going to win?
Ito Smith motions back into the backfield. Ryan. And a flag is thrown in the backfield. The intended receiver was Ridley. Kendall Fuller was there on the coverage.
Into the face, number 67, offense. That penalty's declined. Ball goes over on downs. 1st down.
Well, that's against Andelavitre, and that is a turnover on downs here for the Falcons, but they do move the ball well during that drive. It's 7-0 Atlanta here in the 1st quarter. Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. Last week, the team could not run the ball at all. This week already, 7 carries for 22 yards. And the offensive line is just getting great push as Kansas City takes over here. Mahomes on 1st down, throws towards the sideline. He completes that pass to Tyreek Hill, who was a 1,000-yard receiver last year. Desmond Trufant forced him out of bounds. They're going to say that is good for a 1st down, a 10-yard pickup. Patrick Mahomes, he's a story to follow this year for the Chiefs. He was really handed the reins as the starting quarterback. They dealt Alex Smith to the Washington Redskins. And they said, hey, you're the guy. They traded up in the draft a couple years ago to take him as a 1st rounder. A big arm. Mahomes out of Texas Tech. Pump fake. Trying to set up the screen. And that is read beautifully, but a flag is thrown. And this could be one of the rule changes, as you heard a lot of banging right there.
Yeah, you hear that helmet to helmet, that sound. We can hear it way up here in the booth.
Personal foul, lowering the head and making contact. 15-yard penalty.
They didn't say who it was on, but I think it's on Keanu Neal.
Yeah, see him in the top left of your screen here, number 22, initiating contact with the helmet.
Number 22.
And there it is, announced as Keanu Neal.
To me, that's tough there. To me, he's leading with his shoulder, and the rule is if it's incidental, it's okay. If it's even when tackling, to me, that's him lowering his shoulder. He even looked like he turned his head out to the left there. This is going to be tough for these officials to call all season long, and tough for the players to know what the world they did wrong.
Mahomes, he's got room to run. He's been known to run with it, and he will slide as he gets chased down by Duke Riley. Patrick Mahomes was 5 of 7 for 33 yards in last week's game against the Houston Texans, but his father was a Major League Baseball pitcher. Talk about the arm strength. He has that Brett Favre type skill set. He's a gunslinger. He can extend a play.
Yeah, and you saw right there what he can add on top of that. His ability to get out of the pocket, the Andy Reid rolling him out, uses athleticism when there's nothing downfield. He can pick up some yardage on the ground.
On 2nd down and 3, the handoff is to Hunt. Hunt tries to turn it around backwards, and he's going to lose a lot of yards all the way back to the 44-yard line. Loses 8 on the play. Brian Poole was there to finally bring him down.
I mean, watch this defense swarm. First you get Grady Jarrett busting the entire play up, and then here comes his boys. I mean, they're like an infectious disease. When they're really rolling and they're really feeling themselves, there's no escaping them. They can really roll.
A defense that last year was top 10 in both total defense and scoring defense. First time since 1998 for the Falcons. Now it's 3rd and 11, showing pressure here. Mahomes to his tight end, Travis Kelce, for the 1st down. What a weapon Travis Kelce is, a 14-yard completion.
Yeah, they brought the nickel blitz. Brian Poole came off the right side, and Mahomes saw one-on-one, a big athletic tight end on Desmond Trufant, a shorter corner in this league, and that's the thing with Kelsey. He's too big body for these corners, and he's too fast for some of the linebackers and safeties. That's why he is arguably the most dangerous tight end in the league.
Travis Kelce, 6'5", 260, sixth year out of Cincinnati. The handoff to Hunt, and another flag is thrown as Hunt takes it up to the 35-yard line, gets 7. But let's wait to see what the flag is for again. Duke Riley with the tackle.
Holding, number 61, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's against Mitch Moore, so that one is coming back. And to go back to what you were talking about with that hit by Keanu Neal, where you thought it was a clean hit, I almost feel like here in the preseason, especially, the officials are going to rule almost more so to try to really influence the players to not lead with the head.
Retrain the brain, right?
Yes.
They're so used to playing one way, and if you really do call it, even in the close situations where you could go either way, you're right, Justin. It's a great call by you. Perhaps setting the precedence. Get these
Tack
offsides here
McKinley.
by Tack McKinley. Getting a little excited to get out there. He's hungry, isn't he?
Neutral zone infraction, number 98, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And while it might be frustrating for the players, and I'm sure it is, it's again, like you said, retrain the brain. It's to take these 4 weeks and to make it so that in week 1, you're not going to get called for that penalty. You are going to tackle correctly.
Guys, I was standing right there when it happened, and he come downhill, and he has to jump inside, and that's the reason why he ended up hitting him with the head.
And when you hear the noise from up here, you almost know the flag's going to be thrown. Mahomes to the sideline to Hill, and he gets wrapped up by Brian Poole, a 5-yard pickup.
So here we're looking at this new rule. This is some of the footage that league puts out to let you know what's right, what's wrong. Okay, anytime you use the helmet to initiate contact, you see him right there. I mean, that's what we've been doing since 6-7 years old, growing up, and that is what has to change. Even an offensive lineman can be. This is an offensive player. It could be a running back, and it doesn't have to be helmet to helmet. It could be a helmet to a thigh. If you use the helmet to initiate contact, it's going to be called as a penalty from now on.
2nd down and 9. Mahomes, the inside handoff to Hunt. And Hunt takes it up to the 36, gets 4. As we're under a minute to go here, Tack McKinley with the tackle.
I like this challenge for this defense, right? We talked about all the weapons for the Kansas City Chiefs. Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing and had a ton of explosive runs last year. This is a longer drive. The defense started out with a 3-and-out, but now they're really getting tested by one of the league's premier offenses. How are they going to do on 3rd and 4? Game time. Let's go.
It was a 3rd down conversion of Travis Kelce before the tight end. Mahomes swings it out to Hunt, makes a nice catch. He's got the first down, and Hunt will take it down to the 17-yard line as he picks up 19 on 3rd and 4. Ricardo Allen was able to take him down, as that will lead us to the end of this first quarter. The Falcons leading the Chiefs by the score of 7-0. The Chiefs are threatening. We'll be back after the short timeout here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We are back here in Atlanta for preseason game number 2. The Falcons lead the Chiefs 7-0 as we start the second quarter. Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire and DJ Shockley here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Chiefs red zone opportunity, 1st and 10 from the 17. Patrick Mahomes, a perfect 5 for 5 thus far. Mahomes make it 6 for 6 as he finds Travis Kelce for the first down, as Kelce is to the 4 as he gets 13. It's 1st and goal from the 4.
It's one of those matchups we talked about pregame, right? Can Keanu Neal lock down Travis Kelce? He led the league in receptions as a tight end last year. You see him there getting his beating the leverage of Keanu Neal. He had help in the middle. Don't get beat to the outside. Use your teammates. Use your leverage. Kelce won there.
So it's 1st and goal now for the Chiefs. Handoff to Hunt. And Hunt picks up 2, down to the 2. Tackled by Terrell McLean.
This has been a long drive, hasn't it? You know, there was that 3 and out. Now this defense really being put to the fire. You know, they have this talented offense, just keeps wearing away at them, We're now at a 2nd and goal. We talked about the defensive line. Can they anchor down? Who's going to step up? It's Sanat in there right now, the 3rd-round draft pick. You got John Cunningham in there, big fella.
Mahomes in the shotgun here on 2nd and goal from the 2. Another flag is thrown. The pass is caught to Hunt for the touchdown, but it's going to be waved off. And this one is coming back. It's going against Kansas City.
Illegal formation, 71. Offense, right on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Still first
Mitchell
down.
Schwartz gets called for the
Second
penalty,
down.
and that's one that will drive Andy Reid crazy.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. The Falcons getting lucky on that one. That 71 there. The top of your helmet has to be right on the line of the belt buckle there of the offensive lineman beside you. He was a little too deep, but keep an eye on these linebackers in one-on-one coverage. It's 2 times now we're seeing a linebacker getting beat with the back to the flat. That's Kareem Hunt, nearly 500 yards receiving last year. He's solid.
Guys, watch the matchup down here with Kelsey at the bottom.
Mahomes throwing it to Kelsey, and it's batted down by by Robert Alford. He's saying no, no, no. So 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah, Alford out there all alone, stepping to the challenge. He wanted man-to-man. He went toe-to-toe with him, press. Kelsey faked to the outside, tried to come inside, and look at the acceleration. Robert Alford kept his offhand off of the back of the receiver, put his mitt in there, pass breakup. That's winning football.
And now Alford's asking for the crowd to get into it here on 3rd and goal. Mahomes forced out of the pocket. Mahomes. That one is knocked down, nearly intercepted by Bleedy Ray Wilson. Bend but don't break.
You said it, Justin. That's what the defensive coordinator, Marquand Manuel, wants to see. He saw the pocket break down. He saw an athletic quarterback running, and now it's called plaster. Find the receivers who are open right. Heck of a job by Bleedy Ray Wilson. He's a game of inches, isn't it? Look at that. Incredible play by the 6-year vet out of UConn. Making some noise in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Now a 25-yard field goal attempt here by Harrison Butker. And the kick is good. But Marquand Manuel's defense, they did their job, allowed just 3 at 7-3 Falcons. The secondary, Robert Alford, Bleedy Ray Wilson, both made big plays when Kansas City had opportunities. 2nd, 3rd and goal. And that forced the field goal by Harrison Butker. And at 7-3, Falcons on top as Butker will kick off to Calvin Ridley. Back deep, who had a 35-yard return to open up this ball game. He'll get a chance to return it again from the 6. And Ridley will just step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at our first quarter highlights presented by AT&T. And for the Falcons, it was all started by that nice 3rd and long conversion, the pass to Austin Hooper.
And then Matt Ryan got to go into the bootleg there, back to Hooper. They had some run game going. They were able to build off of that. Finishing in the red zone was key. How about the big hits by Poole out there? He's covering some fast receivers too. In Hill, one of the fastest in the league. Incredible job in man-to-man all night by Poole.
And now Matt Schaub takes over at quarterback here for the Falcons. The handoff to Ito Smith. And Smith able to pick up 4 yards. 2nd down and 6. Matt Ryan, his night is done. A much better night here in game number 2 than it was in game number 1. Matt Ryan, 5 of 7, 90 yards, a touchdown. That touchdown we just showed was that touchdown pass to Austin Hooper. And here is Matt Schaub now in his 15th season, a two-time Pro Bowler. Second year of a $9 million contract to back up. Matt Ryan, the spin move by Smith to get away from one defender. Takes it up to the 31, picks up 2 yards. And it's 3rd down and 4 now here for the Falcons.
The offensive line here, we have some of the backups in. Can they keep this run game going? And, Ito Smith is, you're seeing him just be a beat off, a step behind where Tevin Coleman or Devontae Freeman would be. And not from a physical aspect, but just not getting vertical, missing the cut just by a beat. And that's allowing that fast defense to track him down.
Justin Hardy in motion here on 3rd and 4. Schaub gets rid of it and completes the pass for the first down to Hardy. A 7-yard completion. Schaub stood in there, able to complete that pass.
Yes, a good time to throw it as well. Ben Garland, Wes Schweitzer, the guys up front. He was able to step into this throw. Excellent awareness by Hardy to get to the sticks before sitting it down. Had that rover coverage there, and he was able to still pick up the first down.
So the Falcons, who had 1 first down last week against the Jets in the first half, have been able to pick up first downs seemingly on every drive so far. Play action. Schaub towards the sideline and going up to get it is Russell Gage, the 6th-round draft pick out of LSU for 18 yards.
Again, great time to throw. Excellent job of protection for the offensive line. Matt Schaub seeing that deep comeback route. And I like that the youngster Gage was able to bring it back. This is a vet move right there. Not waiting for that ball to sail and get there forever, give the defensive back time to come break it up. No, he came back and excellent route, hauling it in. Big gain for the Falcons.
Across midfield yet again at the 44 of Kansas City. Play action once again. Schaub, a touch pass there, and it's dropped by Justin Hardy. Hardy, who is so sure-handed. He graduated ECU as the career leader in receptions with just under 1,400.
Yeah, and this is a catchable pass, right? And you mentioned, I mean, that they led the league in drops last year. The Atlanta Falcons led the NFL in drops, and people talked about Matt Ryan having a drop-off year. I mean, of his 12 interceptions, 5 of them came off of tipped passes by his own receivers. That's something that you don't want to see, even though it's preseason. You want to get better in that area this year, especially from a short-handed guy like Hardy.
2nd and 10. Ito Smith planted that foot, cut back up, and he's down to the 38-yard line.
Wes Schweitzer there in one of the prime starting battles in this preseason. Wes Schweitzer against the newcomer Brandon Fusco, signed a big deal, 3-year, $12.75 million out of Minnesota. Both of these guys going at it. I was just down on the field talking with Scott Pioli, assistant general manager, and he's like, hey, look, Schweitzer's not giving this thing up. I still like Schweitzer. I like what I'm seeing. And you saw right there, a great drive, mano-a-mano, getting some push.
On 3rd and 4, it's Ito Smith. This time he gets the first down. He loves that spin move as he gets 9 up to the 29-yard line.
Hey, you ran it behind Schweitzer the last play. Why not try it again? The guy's feeling it right now. Offensive coordinator sees it. Ben Garland doing a great job coming around with the kick out. Look at that seal. I mean, look at that. That's an excellent job by Schweitzer. This is a guy who's not going to acquiesce. You're not going to come in and take my starting position easily. Heck of a job by Ito Smith as well. Last week, remember, a little tentative and timid? He's hitting it this week, isn't he?
A timeout will be taken here by the Chiefs.
First.
They need a breather.
Team timeout.
The Falcons offense moving down the field yet again as they lead 7-3 here in the second. Leading in Falcons football is back. There's still time to join the action at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this season. Visit AtlantaFalcons.com/tickets to learn more. Second quarter, 9:19 to go. 7-3. The Falcons leading Matt Schaub in at quarterback here on this drive, and they're moving the ball again effectively against this Chiefs defense. Bootleg here for Schaub. Schaub has some green. And he's going to run out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him out. It'll be at the 23-yard line as he gets 7 yards there, chased out by Tremont Smith.
Did you see the wheels on the 37-year-old? I mean, he was moving like DJ Shockley out there. Heads he played by the vet. Shock, what do you see down there?
Sometimes you just got to get the yards, man. That's all it's about. It's not there. Make the right decision. That's why Schaub is in his 15th year.
Yeah, he knows better. And I'm gonna push too hard. I want to keep both my hamstrings intact.
Justin Crawford now goes in motion here on 2nd down and 4.
Ridley.
There is Ridley across the middle. Ridley trying to find that first down marker. Little stutter step move. He's got the first down. The first-round pick out of Alabama gets 7. He's had a couple of big plays already.
I love this here. You're going to see Ridley. It's like, this is where you know he's a rookie. He's got all this room. He's like, should I cut it upfield or should I just hit it, man? Do it just like you did in college. He's feeling this thing out. But good to see him some action. You see his teammates around him laughing. That's that energy he can bring. And the mentor right there. Julio Jones had Roddy White before him. Now he's passing along what he's learned down the chain to these younger, hungry receivers.
Here's Crawford on the handoff. Crawford takes it up to the 15, gets 2. And Julio Jones, a former Alabama Crimson Tide member. Calvin Ridley, Alabama Crimson Tide. But you know what impresses me so much about this Falcons team is you have guys like Julio Jones, a star, Devontae Freeman, Matt Ryan, guys who are stars, but no real egos.
They are humble. They are hungry. And you see that from the best organizations and franchises in the league. When you think about the Patriots, and Dan Quinn has built that sort of philosophy, that sort of character into this roster, and it's showing.
Here's Ito Smith on the toss. And Ito Smith to the 11 gets 4. 3rd down coming up. It's a red zone opportunity here for the Falcons. And again, this is going to be a point of emphasis for the next 2.5 games that we'll cover, and it'll be a point of emphasis for the 16 games during the regular season for the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, this is it, right? I mean, this was a defense who was 8th in the league last year. They led the league in 3rd down conversions. They kept the chains moving, but when they got down to the red zone, they weren't scoring touchdowns. Too many field goals. What can Matt Schaub do on a 3rd and 4? He's sending his back Ito Smith out. Ball should come out quick.
Schaub gets rid of it. He has the first down as Reggie Davis makes the catch.
Reggie Davis out of UGA, the Bulldog, one of those guys. I mean, watch this creativity on the route. Little stutter step and finding his crease and that burst to get open. And nice shot by Matt Schaub putting it on the money there. But this is one of those guys who's going to battle the Marvin Halls and the Russell Gages, right? He's hungry. He wants to prove that he can be a receiver if needed, but he's going to try to make his case for special teams as well. That's going to be where he earns his spot.
So now it's 1st and goal from the 5 as Schaub goes into the shotgun. Schaub to the end zone, and that is incomplete. Nearly picked off by David Amerson, but he could not come down with 2 feet in bounds. So the Falcons will live to see 2nd and goal.
That's one of those things here. They want to see one-on-one situations. They want to see personnel. How can they perform? Can we use Calvin Ridley in this sort of role? Can we throw it up to him down in the goal line? A little short there by Matt Schaub on the throw. Ridley wanted a bit of a push-off on there, but they want to see, can you do more than just run across the middle and run deep?
They've got Saubert in at tight end. They're going to hand off here to Ito Smith, who gets hit in the backfield. Leon McQuay, a tackle for a loss of 2.
And this is where you see in this offense, here comes the red zone again, right? You almost throw an interception, and you had the run game going. Now one guy misses a block, and now all of a sudden we're getting negative yardage. Here we go again in the red zone. It's 3rd and goal now. They got pushed back to about the 8. Gives them a little more room to work down here, which may not necessarily be a bad thing that they lost on that one. But how about Saubert at the bottom of your screen and working with the running back? Look for Matt Schaub to look to the bottom of the screen to work with those threats.
3rd and goal from the 8 for number 8. And the pass is to the end zone and caught by And number 18, Calvin Ridley with the touchdown.
Great route concept. We said to take your attention to the bottom of the screen. Saubert takes the top off the defense. Ridley sits it right down. The defensive backs don't have time to get there. Matt Schaub with the laser. Touchdown in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for Calvin Ridley. I think we'll be saying that quite a few times over the next few years. Look at the happiness and the joy he's bringing his teammates. They're like, yeah, we got one in this kid.
It wasn't as if the wide receiver position was a point of weakness for the Falcons, and they added to it in that first round, getting Ridley. David Marvin for the extra point. It's 14-3, Falcons leading with 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Is this the same team as last week, Justin?
I don't think so. It's 15 plays that leads to the touchdown. The 8-yard touchdown catch by Ridley. A difference a week can make. Calvin Ridley, all smiles along the sidelines, made a couple of catches on that drive, including an 8-yard touchdown catch on 3rd and goal from the 8. As Matt Bosher is on to kick off here with Tremont Smith back deep for Kansas City. Smith from the 4. Smith has a hole. A flag is thrown as he brings it up to the 30.
Bleedy Ray Wilson there on the tackle
During the
at the
return,
end.
holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, right now it's time for AT&T Meet the Rookies. Let's introduce you to the Falcons defensive tackle, Deidrin Senat, a 3rd-round pick out of South Florida. This is a guy who the coaching staff really has high hopes for after what they've seen in training camp from him.
6 foot, 314 pounds. I mean, he's built like a fire hydrant, right? He's short, he's stocky, he's powerful, he's quick, a lot like Grady Jarrett, cut from the same mold. See him come to life tonight.
Mahomes on 1st down, taking the shot down the field. That's trouble, picked off, intercepted by Devontae Casey. Casey read it all the way. He had 11 tackles last week, and now the first turnover of the game.
Beautiful read. Patrick Mahomes didn't look him off at all. Look at him get out of the middle of the field. That burst, that speed. He had a heck of a game last week, over 10 tackles. Now he's showing he can be a ball hawk too. And what has Dan Quinn stressed? Need more turnovers and attack the football. Casey did it right there. Breathing life into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's a heck of a play.
14-3. The turnover on downs, and Casey in his 2nd season out of San Diego State making his presence felt.
Oh yeah, we have tackle for losses, we have pass breakups, we have an interception. All we need now on the defensive side of the ball is a sack and forced fumble. I mean, they're rolling, they're hitting all of cylinders, right? Offense doing well too. They're scoring when they get to the red zone. They're running the football. That play action is working off of it. Casey, though, heck of a play by that young man right there.
Shaw back in at quarterback. Hand off to Ito Smith. Up the middle. Smith will push that pile for 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Matt Ryan started this game 5 of 7. Matt Schaub, so far he's 5 of 7. Both have touchdowns. And I'm going to throw this question out to both you guys, Coy and Shock.
I think you keep Matt Ryan as a starter. Is that what you're going to
No.
Oh, okay.
The fact that Kansas City announced that they were going to play their starters for the first half in a preseason game, game number 2, and I'll throw this question to you at the end of this play on 2nd down and 7. Hand off again here to Smith. Does that just give you, as a team, does that fire you up, that extra that you needed after last week's performance? Does that give you that extra burst of energy? Because it seems like this team is a different team than what we saw last week.
Well, and I think before that was even announced, I think we were going to see this. Dan Quinn chewed this team out. You don't often see Mr. Optimistic look grumpy even. He was hot. He was fuming last week. Keith Armstrong there as well. You can guarantee that they were getting all up in the team last week. Marquand Manuel gave a speech in the middle of the defense. You could see he was putting the fear in the eyes. They got a pep talk, and they were ready to rock.
It's Saubert on 3rd and 5. He's got the first down. Another red zone opportunity as he is down to the 17-yard line. A 24-yard completion.
Now Saubert's coming to life. This is what Coach Quinn is talking about. He's going to come from the left side of your screen there. Look at him in the zone coverage. He knows the defender is not there. He's been dragged out, so he keeps running. He doesn't have to sit it down. Smart headsy play there. Coach Quinn said last year, you know what, his athleticism never showed. He knew the plays, but he was afraid to make a mistake. This year he is not. He's letting it fly. Now we're seeing why they were so high on this guy when he's coming out of college.
Out of Drake in Des Moines, Iowa. Shaw lofting it to his running back out of the backfield. Ito Smith, incomplete. Oh, wait. It is incomplete. Smith could not get 2 feet down.
You got to get the 2 feet down. You got to get control of the ball as well. It looked like didn't end up having it there. Official right there to call it, but I like that they're trying to work some new plays this week and get this offense really. The defense looks like they're on their heels right now. They don't know what to do.
Look at the difference in yards in this game. Hand off to Smith again. He likes that cutback. He'll get 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 as he gets tripped up by Dorian O'Daniel.
Fellas, one thing to watch down here, you can tell the creativity offensively, not just in the red zone, but throughout the entire ball game. They're doing a lot of moving the receivers around. They're motioning guys. And when they motion, it forces the defensive backs to back off. And when you do that, you got a chance to get that separation. And that's why we've seen a lot of these guys having that separation and making big plays. And give it up to Matt Schaub for getting the ball out of his hands quickly on a lot of these crossing routes.
And with that, we hear from a quarterback and DJ Shockley, and now we got a 2-minute warning so they can plan for this. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Falcons. 2 minutes to go here in this first half. 14-3 Falcons leading. A point of emphasis, red zone efficiency. Right now, they're 2 for 3. A couple of touchdowns in 3 trips. They had a turnover on downs when they went for it on 4th and 2. I don't know about you. I was a fan of that. And now they face 3rd down and 8 from the 15 of Kansas City.
Wasn't a fan of it as a defender.
Shaw, good protection, throws over the middle, completes the pass to Reggie Davis, and Davis is very close. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy.
How about all these weapons, though? I mean, it's like Steve Sarkisian's just kind of toying with the defense right now, right? I mean, last week he said, look, we were excellent all camp, and we had our worst day on game day against the Jets, and it showed. But now we're seeing him use all of these weapons as a defense. How are you going to stop him? You can only double 2 guys at a time. They're going to go for it on 4th down because he's feeling it.
4th and 1 here. Shaw, the handoff to Smith, trying to get low. Does he have enough? He is really close to that marker. This will need a measurement.
Looks like he's going to come a bit short here. Falcons, of course, pleading their case, waving their arms, but it looked like the official had him just a bit short. Didn't see that drive you want right out of the offensive line in that situation. Low man wins. We'll see what it's like when we come back.
Well, they don't need a measurement. It's a turnover on downs again. It'll be Chiefs ball when we come back.
Be a little better play call on 3rd down, but man, I really want to see this guy run that route, and I want to see if he can win versus this man-to-man coverage. And so you do sacrifice those things in the preseason for the game later down the road in the regular season.
That was Steve Sarkisian talking about the play calling during the preseason. Here's Patrick Mahomes from his end zone. It's incomplete, dropped by Sammy Watkins. It was thrown a little bit behind him. So 2nd down and 10 coming up. And Coy, I don't know about you, but to me, this is a big possession right now for both Kansas City and Atlanta. And for Atlanta, the reason why I say that is because they've been going against the ones the entire first half. If you can go into the locker room leading 14-3, that's a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, we're talking about one of the most explosive offenses in the league across the board at almost every position. Dynamic playmakers, including Sammy Watkins, who just dropped one. I mean, that's a big win, confidence builder for this defense.
2nd and 10. Mahomes. This is where now as a starting quarterback, he gets 9, but you're in the preseason, you want him to slide. You don't want him to take the hit by Duke Riley.
Yeah, this isn't college anymore. You're not the backup anymore. You're the franchise, right? And so I like the competitive nature there and trying to run for a first down. He almost got it. We're going to have a 3rd and 1 here, but Andy Reid only wants him to run to a slide, not to a tackle.
And now a timeout is called by the Falcons because 3rd and 1 is coming up. And if you can make the stop here on 3rd and 1, you get a punt. And then all of a sudden, you get the ball back.
Yeah, pretty good field position, too. So interesting to see what this defense is going to do in this situation. Marquand Manuel, would expect that he's going to go man-to-man. Of course, it depends on the formation the Chiefs come out in, but you want to be tight coverage and not let any breathing room down here. Big play opportunity to get the ball back in the hands of the offense.
3rd and 1 from the 17 here for the Chiefs. A delayed handoff to Kareem Hunt, and he does have that first down. Gets 9 yards on 3rd and 1.
I don't like what I'm seeing here. Is kind of linebackers still kind of figuring out where Duke Riley's looking back. The ball snapped, and now it's a run. Hey, you got to be out there.
Mahomes to Hunt out of the backfield. And a timeout taken here by the Falcons again. With 28 seconds to go here in this first half. And again, this is the change, right? This is a preseason game. So what you're trying to do is give yourself, your team, a chance to do something to mimic a regular season situation. And the Atlanta Falcons thank you for all that you do. Let's get ready for another exciting season. Through our commitment to each other, we will achieve unlimited greatness on and off the field because together we rise. And together in this first half, the Falcons have looked good, leading 14-3 against the starters for the Kansas City Chiefs. A team that seems like perennially goes to the playoffs. 2nd and 5. Mahomes, he's got a strong arm. He's going to air it out down the field. Has Hill with the catch and the touchdown. 69 yards.
And that's that spark.
There is a flag, a couple of flags thrown. This will be for celebration in the end zone for Hill.
Just so much speed by Tyreek Hill. If this play stands, I mean, it's incredible. He had 3 guys around him. First, it's man-to-man trail coverage. You got the safety over the top, and he just runs right by everybody. Different level.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10 of the offense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown.
It reminds me almost in baseball, you have doubles prevent defense. Right here, that's the one thing you cannot have happen.
I mean, watch this. First of all, you're taking a look at 4.29 speed in the 40-yard dash. This is the reason he had 16 touchdowns, at least 30 yards or more last season. Led the league. I mean, the guy can flat out play. Great challenge by the defense here tonight. They're giving it their best. He's popping and locking out there. I don't know, you could penalty for that one, Tyreek. But heck of a player. Lesson learned for the Falcons defense there. That man can run.
Butker converts the extra point. A 69-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. And that's what Mahomes can do with his arm. And so when you have his arm strength combined with the speed of Hill, weapons like Hunt, weapons like Kelsey.
Yeah, and the athleticism to buy more time, right? To let Tyreek Hill get 60 yards down the field, right? I mean, it was a great job by him buying himself some time and then letting loose.
It certainly dampens the mood a little bit for the Falcons, who had been dominant in this first half.
Yeah, that's that one you're going to look at and say, how? Guys, we had a shutdown here, right? We only had one field goal, and now it's an explosive play. And they've been talked to all week. They heard that's what this team does. They have the most explosive running back in the game, and the receiver as well. And Quinn's defense there, giving up that big play before the end of the half. They'll go and reset, talk about it, keep everything in front of them.
Now Ito Smith is back to return the kick from Harrison Butker. A low line drive. Smith muffs it, able to pick it up at the 7. Smith trying to get around the outside, gets shoved out of bounds with 9 seconds to go. A 26-yard return by Ito Smith.
We saw a little bit of that burst that they like out of this guy as a potential starting kickoff return. You do something bad as a rookie, what you gonna do now? Make up for it. And look at him switch arms here with the ball. I'm not gonna advise that. I mean, it's something I would do, but I'm not a running back in the NFL. I think they want you to, make sure you don't potentially drop the ball. But I like his ability there to make a little something out of nothing and potential disaster.
Well, they're going to take a knee and head into the locker room with a 14-10 lead over the Kansas City Chiefs. A good first half for the Falcons, soured just a little bit by that 69-yard touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. But the Falcons came out looking good. They lead 14-10 at the half. We'll be back after this short timeout with our halftime show. Sponsored in part by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. By the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Nighttime here in Atlanta as we get set to start the third quarter. 14-10. Falcons lead the Chiefs. Time for the Equifax sideline report. Let's go down and check in with DJ Shockley.
Hey, Justin, I had a chance to talk to DQ coming out of the box, and he said, hey, I was very excited about how aggressive we were offensively, and it led to a lot of things, especially in the stretch zone. It gave him a chance to run the ball and also throw it, so he loved the balance offensively. Defensively, he said he loved going after the football. That's what they strive to be, is go after the football and create those turnovers. He loved the matchup they got in the first half, especially with Kelsey on some of his defensive backs. He wants to see more of that in the second half and be aggressive, use that energy and speed, and get after these guys in the second half and finish it the way they started it.
That sounds great. Thanks, Shock. Smile right there by Dan Quinn as Matt Bosher will kick off. Kerwin Williams is back for Kansas City, takes it at the goal line. Williams will take it up to around the 23-yard line, tackled by Ricky Ortiz. Ortiz trying to win that fullback position. Will make a name for himself maybe on special teams as Chad Henne comes in to start this third quarter at quarterback for Kansas City. Chad Henne now in his 11th season out of Michigan.
Getting some younger defensive linemen in there, see if they can put some pressure on Henne in the pass game, and some of these linebackers to really keep an eye on. Specifically Foye Olakun, right? He looked outstanding last week, graded the highest out of any defender on the Falcons. And so can he step up 2 weeks in a row? We'll see.
That's number 54 for Atlanta, Olakun. And a handoff to Darrell Williams. A 2-yard pickup. Let's go down to Shock, who's joined by a special guest.
Yeah, I got Mohamed Sanu down here. Everybody knows Mohamed as being one of the lead receivers here for the Falcons. Talk about the difference between last week and this week. You guys came out with a different sense of urgency. What was the mindset coming in this week?
Last week we weren't ourselves. The energy in pregame, everything, we were just off. And we had to come with the correct mindset this week. We had a good week of preparation and came out here and everybody was on their P's and Q's, and we just wanted to have fun and play ball.
A lot of people want to know, how can you guys get so many catches? It's a big-time offense. You guys got a lot of weapons. Talk about the experience that you bring, Julio, to this offense and be able to go out and be able to be explosive and get back to the numbers you guys had back in 16.
We just got to do our job, man, and everybody just got to have fun with it. When your play come your way, you make your play, and, you do your part, and everything's going to fall into place. We don't need to press. You don't need to do this, do that. Just do what we do, and everything will be fine.
Talk about your young rookie. He made some plays today. Looked like he came out and really exerted himself. What have you seen from him in the first week couple in camp and also now in the game?
Red. That boy, man, he's awesome. Special. Works extremely hard. In every rep, every route, every run play, no matter the situation, guys full tilt, walk through full speed. I'm like, yo, Red, you got to slow down, bro. Like, you know, we're not loose yet. He's like, I know. That's all I know. And that's going to make him great, you know. So it's great to have him on our team. He's going to help us out a lot. And, you know, we're just trying to catch him up to speed to everything, and he's learning quickly.
Great things about you this year. You come into this season. Tell the people, we talked about it last year, what is the meaning of the being taught?
I mean, it's whatever you really want it to be. I mean, it's whatever you're feeling. Is like right now we having that little bean talk, or, you know, if you're feeling great, you want a bean. You know what I'm saying? Or like right now, my guy got the nice shoes on his feet. He's on a bean right now. The cameraman, you guys can't see it right now. I can see it, but the cameraman's on a bean.
All right, Bob. We want you to be healthy, stay successful this year, and have a good season, man. And congratulations on the success so far.
Bean talk, baby.
Mohamed Sanu, back to you guys.
All right, thanks. Mohamed Sanu giving a shout out to the footwear of our camera crew. Love that. I thought he was going to be talking about the footwear of his teammate who's not in the shot right there, but the guy Julio Jones who came out with the old school Jordans. I thought that's what he was referring to. Here the handoff to Darrell Williams up the middle. A 7-yard run. Jamal Ishmael. Here was Mohamed Sanu last week at camp with his young son. I mean, how cool is that?
And that's what it's all about right there, isn't it? His son's going to remember these days forever. Just have this video and have this photo. When your dad, back in the day, was playing in the NFL. Special times for that man. Who is more deserving? An incredible man of character, a leader within this offense and this entire team.
3rd down and 3 here for the Chiefs. Their opening drive of this 3rd quarter. Henne swings it out to Williams, and Williams will have enough for the 1st down. The tackle is made by Cedric Cooper. Cooper just couldn't bring him down shy of that 1st down marker. So at the 45-yard line are the Chiefs. The Chiefs again, they won the opening toss. They deferred, so that's why they got the kickoff here to open up this 3rd quarter.
Cedric Cooper is one of these rookies for the Falcons, 32 of them. That is the most by far of any team in the NFL. A lot of young guys out there making mistakes last week. We'll see if they can step it up this week and make some plays.
Henne gets it to Williams again out of the backfield, makes a nice move, and Cooper comes back to force him out of bounds. It was Cooper who missed the tackle, and it's a 17-yard pickup here for Darrell Williams, the free agent out of LSU.
Yeah, Cooper 2 plays in a row, right? I mean, here's just a bad angle, overrunning the play. And you got to attack that inside shoulder, and you have 3 missed tackles on one play, and that's where that youth is showing up, right? Not used to the speed at this level, and they're out there, their minds are spinning, their bodies are tired. They've been running first, 2nd team, 3rd team, and special teams. They're out here fighting for their lives.
Henne to throw again towards the sideline, completes the pass to Jay Samaro, another tight end, a 9-yard completion. You mentioned 32 rookies on this team for the Falcons. Cedric Cooper, just one of those 32 rookies. The next closest is Baltimore. The league average is under 22 per team.
That's a lot of youth, and it speaks volumes about that man right there, Dan Quinn, and his confidence talking with Thomas Dimitroff and Scott Pioli, knowing, hey, I can develop young talent. You get me the guys who have that athleticism, I'll teach them our system. And he really is one of the best teachers in the game. And so that's what this is all about. They're confident in bringing in young players.
And there are a lot of coaches out there who aren't like that. They don't want all those young guys.
That's exactly right. And the other thing that I like about Dan Quinn, he doesn't try to do it on his own. In speaking with him, he has his veterans. He has Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, all the way down. Pick a rookie when they come in those doors and mentor them. And these guys take pride in that. They love showing the young guys the ropes. It creates chemistry.
Uh-oh. This creates a touchdown. Garrick Dieter, 27 yards from Chad Henne, and the Chiefs have taken the lead.
And that was Isaiah Oliver, their 2nd-round pick out of Colorado, someone who's got all the athleticism and the genetics. His dad was a heck of an athlete, but right there, you're impressed man. You can't whiff. You got to get your hands on him. And really never gave himself a chance. He was beat within the first 5 yards of that route.
Dieter out of Alabama. He knew it. And so now on for the extra point is Harrison Butker. And it's now a 3-point lead for the Chiefs here in the third quarter. A 10-play, 76-yard drive ends in a 27-yard touchdown pass from Henny to Dieter. When you're as good as the Falcons are, when you're as deep as they are, the position battles to make the team can often be here on special teams.
Right, and guys at the bottom of the roster, Dimitrov and Quinn, both they've met this week, and they said that positions 47 through 53 on the roster, they're fluid right now. That's going to be the guys who are going to play for Keith Armstrong. They're a lot of linebackers, there's going to be a lot of DBs, maybe some receivers who can take up those spots.
Ito Smith again muffs the kickoff, able to recover and dive forward up to the 25-yard line. That's the second time we've seen that from him. It's a 19-yard return. That's not the way you want to impress the coaches.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Keith Armstrong, I've been in his team meeting rooms, and the first thing he preaches is, can I trust you? And 2 times with the ball on the ground, that's not going to fly, right? I mean, you're not going to get too many more opportunities than that when you have plenty of able bodies who can return kicks. Something Smith's going to have to really work on and hope that he gets some more chances.
And now Kurt Bankert is in at quarterback, the third quarterback of the game for the Falcons. Bankert looked good last week against the Jets. Here he is rolling out to his left, throwing a nice throw, and that is caught by Marvin Hall for the first down, picks up 12 yards. Bankert, the free agent out of Virginia. 9 of 17 last week. He came in and he just played with confidence.
Yeah, money in the banker, right? I mean, we talked about this guy coming with this confidence. Who is this guy, right? He wants that third string quarterback spot, or maybe it's a practice squad position. But look at him. He's got the tattoo out tonight. He's ready to rock.
The handoff here to Ito Smith. Smith trying to bounce it outside. He cannot get out. Tackled down at the line of scrimmage. Let's check in with Shock.
Thanks, Justin. Now down here with one of the stalemates of this defense, safety Ricardo. First off, congratulations. You got the new deal. What did it feel like to get that investment from the Falcons, and now you're locked up with this team for a few years now?
Oh man, it felt good to just show like all the hard work that I was doing. The long days, the late nights, man, just coming in and working as hard as I can, man. It was good to see that it paid off, man, and that they was willing to put an investment into me in the long run.
You guys were surging towards the end of the season last year, playing really good football. How has that transferred over to this season now, and where you guys want to go?
Man, we know who we are, and that's one of the biggest things. We know who we are, and we know what we can do. We know at the end of the year we started to ball out. We know we turned our defense around from the year before to last year being a top 10 defense. Now we're trying to push into that top 5.
So much experience in that back end for you guys. A lot of guys who play a lot of football. How much mentoring have you guys done to some of the new pieces on this defense, and guys like Isaiah Oliver coming on, Dieter Sinat? What is the mentoring process like for you guys?
Oh man, just show them every day how to be a pro, man. Just to come in and just show them, like, in this league and on this team, own your role, do your job, man. Play as hard as you can, get to that ball. Like, know your stuff, man. Know your stuff in and out, and the rest of it will take care of itself.
Well, congrats on that new deal, man. Looking for great things out of this defense. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, well, Bankert right there just overthrew his intended receiver, Devin Gray, on third down. And he'll talk with Steve Sarkisian. You mentioned that new deal. It was a 3-year, $19.5 million extension. This is a guy, Ricardo Allen, who was cut back in 2014. And talk about, dealing with adversity, stick-to-itiveness. I mean,
yeah, he's a practice squad guy.
That's awesome.
He's tough. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't forget where he came from, and that really shows with the grit that he brings to this team. He's one of the heartbeats and souls of this team. Really inspiring for a lot of the younger guys who are wanting to come in and find a spot as well. If he can do it, I can too.
Tremont Smith with the catch. It's a 44-yard punt by Matt Bosher. A couple of flags were thrown. That was the first punt of the game for the Falcons. As we'll wait to hear the call from Walt Coleman. 10th penalty of the game.
talk a little more about Ricardo Allen. I mean, this guy knows what was said about him coming out. A lot of folks, you know, some news outlets saying
There are 2 fouls on the return team. During the return, holding number 25, that penalty's declined. Illegal block in the back. That penalty will be accepted. 10 yards, first down.
you know,
We'll talk more about Ricardo Allen when we come back. But right now, the Falcons trail here 17-14 in the third quarter. Well, we hope you'll join us on Atlanta's CW 69 next Saturday when the Falcons take on the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7 p.m. Eastern for the all-important third preseason game. That will be a good test for these Falcons. Jacksonville.
I think their top corner, Jalen Ramsey, had some things to say about Matt Ryan.
Oh, did he?
I thought I saw something. I don't know if that's going to be talked about this week or not.
Chad Henne here on first down. Hands off to Darrell Williams up the middle, who gets 5. We'll set up second down and 5.
That'll be some must-see TV, won't it, though? I mean, the top-ranked pass defense in the league going against all these weapons we talked about, all with a little mustard slapped on top with the trash talk. Jalen Ramsey saying that Matt Ryan's overrated. I guarantee it doesn't get in the head of Matt Ryan at all, but I also guarantee you that his teammates are going to want to show out for number 2.
Yeah, I don't think those words slide off like oysters go down. You know, it's not quite like that. On second down, the pass is complete to Alex Ellis.
I'm not understanding what you guys are meaning by oysters. I mean,
folks at home, listen here. Last night we went out to our team dinner. We talked some ball. We also get to watch DJ Shockley try some foods he's never tried before. The guy had never had calamari last season. Last night there were some raw oysters on the table, and the man took it like a champ.
He did it. He did
so
it.
So proud of you.
I don't even remember. I think I blacked out.
I remember the quote right after was, "Why is it so slippery?"
It's 17-14 here in the third quarter. Henne drops back to pass over the middle again. And again, he's able to complete a pass to Ellis for 9 yards.
Henne spent a lot of years in Jacksonville, right? And he's out here right now picking apart this inexperienced defense. A lot of rookies on the field. They're playing a lot of zone. And these receivers are doing a great job recognizing that, sitting down in those windows. And let's see how they'll adjust. How will these young guys adapt to that? Right now, Henne's having his way, moving the chains.
Second down and 2 here for the Chiefs. Coming up on 6.5 to go in this third quarter. It's kept by Henne, who has the first down as he will run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Gets 10 yards on that nice little play. Chase out of bounds by Marcellus Branch.
Yeah, and that's Richard Jarvis there, the linebacker. First thing you got to do when you're the end man on line of scrimmage is make sure that it's not a boot, right? And he went down with the running back on that one and allowing Chad Henne, he's not a speed demon, to get outside. That's a busted assignment all the way.
Yeah, Coy, those are the kind of keys that Coach Quinn want to see. Do the small things. Keep leverage, keep containment. Those are the things he want to see in this second half.
Marcus Kemp in motion here for the Chiefs. And they'll throw to Kemp, and Kemp cannot break the tackle. And let's check out Emory Healthcare, My Falcons journey of Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford grew up across the pond in London. He was classmates with Harry Potter. Maybe he played some Quidditch, who knows, but he ended up going to Penn State. And ever since then, he's become a legit football player.
Yeah, he sat in class with Daniel Radcliffe, a.k.a. Harry Potter. Had no idea that it was him.
Are you saying he had no idea his name was Daniel, or no idea it was Harry Potter?
Both.
And he scrambles out of bounds. Jack Crawford, there he is. He was a basketball player until his senior year of high school. Went to high school in New Jersey for that senior year, was recognized by Penn State, played his college ball there in Happy Valley, and next thing you know, was playing with the Dallas Cowboys. And it's hard to imagine that a guy who's 6'5", 275 can go unnoticed.
Right.
Are you guys a fan of Harry Potter? Because I've never seen Harry Potter.
Actually, read the books first. They're very good. 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Chiefs. Pressure coming against Tenney. And the comeback route is incomplete to Garrett Dieter.
Trying to target Oliver there again. Dieter versus Oliver becoming a nice little battle here. Oliver got beaten on that for a touchdown in the last series. We'll see how he responds to that, right? I mean, that's part of it. Chad Henne knows that that's a rookie out there. I beat him once. Let me see if I can go to him again. Oliver gets the win on that one. But that's when you want to see some fight and some feistiness out of a guy, especially a rookie. When they have a bad play, how do they respond?
Marvin Hall is back to receive the punt from Dustin Colquitt. And Hall runs up to make the catch. It looked like he was going to let it bounce, and then he takes a hard hit. Woo. A 35-yard punt. Dorian O'Daniel, the 3rd-round pick out of Clemson, with a special teams tackle for Kansas City. Fans score a touchdown with low tire prices at Kaufman Tire, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit KaufmanTire.com to find a store near you. 4:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 17-14. Chiefs now lead the Falcons. Justin Crawford in at tailback. Play action. Banker completes the pass to Ricky Ortiz, his fullback, who picks up 5 and sets up 2nd down and 5.
Ricky Ortiz is a guy who right now is the front runner to be the starting fullback for the Atlanta Falcons. Last year, Derek Coleman led the special teams in tackles from that position. He's now gone, but Ricky Ortiz, I mean, this guy threw some killer blocks out there last week. He's showing he can catch the rock. He has 200,000 avocado trees in Jalisco, Mexico. This is a guy who turned down a full scholarship to Kansas State to walk on at Oregon State because their agricultural program. He's hoping to make some guacamole out of would-be tacklers out there this year with some nice blocks. He's impressed so far.
A flag on this play. Do you know how hard it is to grow an avocado tree?
I have no idea, and please tell me you do not, because it's awkward.
Just the process of taking a pit from an avocado and trying to make it grow into one is virtually impossible. I know people who have spent years doing it.
So the fact that
illegal
this guy
formation on the offense, number 80 was covered up. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So the fact that Ortiz has 200,000 avocado trees down there, he went through the multi-year process with the Department of Agriculture. I mean, that's impressive.
It is.
And now he's going to possibly be a starting fullback in the NFL. I mean, this guy has it all.
I may have to talk to him about it, and if I do an Oregon State game this year, I may have to go to a class to find out how the heck do you plant an avocado.
We also have to find out if DJ Shockley has ever eaten an avocado. If not, we know who to ask to get him one.
Well, they get him the ball again. Ortiz catches it out of the backfield, and he takes it up to the 40-yard line. Gets 14 yards.
The answer is yes, I've had avocado before. I've had it in my salad. I'm just not going to eat it whole. Guacamole, not so much.
Really? You haven't had guacamole?
No, I'm not a big fan of guacamole, sorry.
All right, Shock. You've tried oysters. You tried octopus last year. What do you normally eat?
I mean, you guys know I'm in my box. I'm a chicken, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. I'm not really going outside my box too much.
Avocado, guacamole, that's not outside the box.
That's a staple.
The handoff here to Crawford. And Crawford will get a couple of yards on 1st down.
Crawford looked good. I was down there on the field before and just watching his burst. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's an undrafted free agent rookie out of West Virginia. Last week he did have 4 receptions for the offense there in the 2nd half. He was the 3rd leading rusher in the Big 12. This guy has some potential. Of course, it would be as a practice squad guy. I think we're okay on the running back position here.
Oh, you think Freeman and Coleman are okay?
Yeah, I think they're going to be all right. But someone to watch and try to make a name for himself with this organization.
Play action. Banker in trouble. He's going to get sacked. A loss of 3. Derek Naughty there with the sack. So let's talk about Kurt Banker, because we mentioned it last week. Again, we brought it up before. Matt Schaub in the 2nd year of a 2-year deal. Banker, while he's playing for a spot as maybe the 3rd-string quarterback, a practice squad player, he may be playing for that backup quarterback position next year.
Yeah,
if he can
right.
make the team this year, he may have the backup position for next year.
Hey, if you can go with the cheaper work, right? If he proves that he can be a viable backup position, and you don't need to bring a guy like Matt Schaub back. Not saying you won't want to, a heck of a player, right? But if you can bring someone in for much cheaper, that's absolutely could be in the long-term plan here. But right now, it's about what can he do now? Can he prove it? Can he put that flag in the ground to say, hey, keep me around and give me a shot?
It's going to be another punt here for the Falcons.
And guys, what's interesting about that is if he does play really well in his preseason, he may force the hand of the Falcons to possibly keep him on the 53 because there are teams who want a quality backup like a Kurt Benkert if he plays well. So he can play himself onto this roster like you mentioned.
It's a good point there, Shock. Here's Bosher on for the punt. Tremont Smith from the 11. Smith down the sideline has a blocker, and he gets shoved out of bounds by the punter, Matt Bosher. A 51-yard punt, a 40-yard return. The Chiefs on top here by 3 in the third. 17-14, the Chiefs lead the Falcons, and a negative for this Falcons team tonight has been the amount of return yards they've allowed in both kickoffs and punts. 100 total yards on special teams.
Keith Armstrong has a saying, eyes on target, feet gaining ground, hands on blocks, work the block, slip over the top. Not seeing a lot of that from these coverage units tonight.
Coy, did you play special teams at all? Because that sounds really similar to what special teams
it
guys
tells
know.
you how much he said that. It's ingrained in my brain forever. One of the best special teams coaches in the NFL has put his name in the hat several times for a head coach. The guy can really inspire guys. At this level, it takes a special person, a special coach, to motivate guys who come from being the biggest fish in the pond to humble themselves to care about special teams, right? He is one guy who can do it.
25 seconds to go here in this third quarter. And the pass out to Kerwin Williams is complete. And that might be the final play of the quarter. Matt McGloin, who is in at quarterback, points up to the scoreboard and says, yeah, we're going to let this one run out. So the third quarter comes to a close with Kansas City leading 17-14. We'll be back after this short timeout. The city of Atlanta, the home of the Falcons. As we have played 3 quarters here in preseason game number 2, the Chiefs lead 17-14. That third quarter belonged to the Chiefs as Matt McGloin completes the pass here on first down for a first down.
How do you like our city here, Atlanta, Justin? Treating you well here in the South?
Treating me great. Are you kidding?
It's an incredible night. This Mercedes-Benz Stadium looking lovely.
I got to be honest. I think I'm going to Molly B's right after this.
Can I come?
You can.
Should we bring Shock?
Of course.
The more the merrier. Oysters and avocados for everyone. There's Molly B's, named after Arthur Blank's grandmother. A great place to wine and dine, hang out. They just passed the 3 million visitor mark here with 56th event here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. People loving it here in the city.
Kerwin Williams trying to turn the corner, and he takes it up to the 36-yard line, gets 5 yards. Jonathan Celestin, he was there on the tackle.
Jonathan Celestin, number 46. Watch for him tonight. He had a heck of a game last week. 3 tackles. He's out of Minnesota. Same place as Devondre Campbell. He's a rookie, undrafted free agent. He showed up last week.
High snap handled by McGloin. Hands off to Williams. And Williams gets the first down. Kerwin Williams out of Utah State gets 8 yards. And all right, let's talk about this Falcons team, because the third quarter it was the Chiefs. Here they come out now in this fourth quarter, it's the Chiefs again. But that first half, it was a dominant half for the Falcons, and it was against the first team for the Chiefs, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, take away that one explosive play that the Chiefs had, and this was a lights-out performance by the Falcons defense, top 10 a year ago. And they showed why. A lot of weapons, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but the defense as well. A lot of guys who are undersized for their position, but can really run. Marquand Manuel, as a player, I played against him. Great energy, great attitude, great enthusiasm. It's no wonder Dan Quinn wanted him here. His team, his defense, they show that same. They match that energy. They're a really fun team to watch defensively now that they're running in year 3 of this defensive system.
2nd down and 10 here for Kansas City. Handoff up the middle to Kerwin Williams, and a flag is thrown in the backfield.
Defensive line for the 2nd and 3rd teams here, much better
Holding,
this week.
number 60, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's 17-14 here. Other preseason games tonight. The Giants lead the Detroit Lions 17-3 in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers on top of the Dolphins 13-9. Buffalo leading Cleveland 10-7, and Arizona 14-3 over New Orleans. That's in the 2nd quarter. Carolina, of course, in the same division as Atlanta. One of the 3 teams to go to the playoffs last year from this NFC South, and a timeout is taken here by Kansas City.
Timeout, Kansas City.
17-14 with 12:26 to go here in the 4th. The Chiefs lead the Falcons. We are back here in Atlanta. 17-14. Chiefs lead the Falcons. 12:26 to go in this 4th quarter. It is Chiefs ball with Matt McGloin in at quarterback, the 3rd quarterback of the game for Kansas City. 2nd down and 20. McGloin drops back, and that pass is incomplete, but there is a flag coming in late.
Saw some traffic there. We may see a pick on the offense, if not defensive holding, but a good job of the defensive lineman there getting a hand up.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 29, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's against Leon McFadden, and that's a big penalty because it was 2nd down and 20.
Right.
And while it's only a 5-yard penalty, it's automatic 1st down.
Yeah, here you're going to see it, top of your screen there. And had great leverage.
Yeah.
You know, that it was a nice route, but he just kind of, overreacted, right? I mean, there's no need to do that. He was in a good position.
So now it's 1st and 10 from the 34. And McGloin just stumbles to the ground, and that's one of the easiest sacks you'll get if you're Garrison Smith.
I mean, that's a heck of a tackle by the 42-yard line there. I mean, you don't see that very often. Plays like that.
The 42 is the most difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, that's highlight reel material. I don't know about for McGloin, but for the turf monster, heck of a play.
As a guy who's done that before, that turf is mean, man. Sometimes they don't care about you at all. They reach up and grab you.
That's why they're the turf monsters. On 2nd and 20, McGloin swings it out towards the sideline to his running back, Kerwin Williams, a 4-yard pickup. Our play of the game is presented by the North Georgia Honda dealers, and it came back on the opening drive. Nice little bootleg to Austin Hooper, who then hurdled a defender for the touchdown.
Yeah, why not? Get aerial, jump over a defender, score a touchdown, and celebrate with your teammates. That's highlight reel material for you. Austin Hooper going to have a huge season for the Falcons as he did a season ago.
You're making that prediction right now. That he's having a huge season.
I'm making it. Called it. Screen.
Flag. It's Williams again. There's the turf monster again. That was at like a 36. It's an 11-yard pickup.
Turf monster doesn't sit around, man. I'm telling you guys.
No
He
rest.
moves.
Illegal shift, 2 men moving and not resetting, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The turf monster is mad because the turf monster won't get credit for a tackle because of the flag.
I do like what I'm seeing out of the second and third team defense here. I mean, Andy Reid's offense, it can be tough to handle. I mean, you have a lot of misdirection. In the past games at West Coast, I mean, a lot of quick throws, tough to make a play. They're keeping everything in front of them. A lot more discipline this week.
Atlanta has decided to decline the penalty. It'll be 4th down.
So it's now 4th down. The Falcons decline the penalty. But I don't know, you'd say you see things that you like. What I like right there was Jonathan Celestin dancing to the Jackson 5 that they're playing here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That was awesome.
I mean, you should be the one dancing. I mean, I think the people would love to see Justin Kutcher doing a Jackson 5 original.
Oh, trust me, I love me some Jackson 5. Little ABC 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. And now they're going to bring on the field goal unit. Harrison Butker's going to come on. He converted from 25 yards earlier. And this will be from 49 yards for Butker to make it a 6-point game here in the 4th quarter. And Harrison Butker, he's got himself a 49-yarder. It is now 20-14. Kansas City leading Atlanta here in the 4th. Falcons football is back. There's still time to join the action at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this season. Visit atlantafalcons.com/tickets to learn more. Here in the 4th quarter, it is 20-14. Kansas City leading after the second field goal of the game by Harrison Butker, that from 49 yards. Marvin Hall is back to receive. Notice that Ito Smith is not back there after he muffed a couple. Here is Hall from the 3. And Marvin Hall takes it back to the 20. Time for the Winning in the Trenches presented by Georgia Power. Let's check out the center for this Falcons team, Alex Mack, who's been to 3 consecutive Pro Bowls in his 10th year out of Cal Berkeley. You know he's smart if he went there. I mean, I don't know if Coy's actually allowed to speak about him because Coy obviously went to Stanford, Cal, the big game. I'll try to walk you through this so you don't have to say a word.
Yeah, thank you so much. I joke with them all the time. I say, I can't say anything good about you, man. Cal Berkeley, that's our rivals at Stanford, but incredibly intelligent man right there. The central nervous system of the offensive line, getting everyone lined up, making all the calls. I mean, this run game has really, really solidified with Alex Mack anchoring down the center.
I'm just impressed that you said he was a really intelligent guy
going
to Cal Berkeley.
Smart, like freaky smart. I got to give him props. I mean, he really is.
So he could have gotten into Stanford, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he probably could have. He probably could have. No, but he's the emotional leader too. He's so steady. I mean, just before the 4th of July, he went overseas and he was visiting with troops. He didn't have to do that. I mean, he's all around good, quality individual, the type of guy that you love having within the organization.
Bankert still under center. On 2nd down, the high pass, and it's intercepted. Back the other way, it's a pick 6. 25 yards. Ben Neiman.
Yeah, the pass just a bit high off the running back hands. You're going to see this, and it goes right into the breadbasket of the defender. But I also want you to watch at the end of the play. I mean, talking about an official who had his life flash before his eyes.
I believe that was Walt Coleman, the referee.
Goodness. I mean, this is going to be trending on the internet. I mean, what do you do? It's like Pamplona running the Bulls. All these big men coming at you. Hey, Walt.
I think you give him more credit. He got out the way.
I think he tripped him up.
That is impressive. He was able to get out the way.
We need to give Walt a nickname. I mean, I'm impressed. He didn't turn and run. He hung right in there. Yeah, someone
definitely tripping.
That's a tripping
yep.
penalty. No yellow flags. We're gonna have to review that.
He couldn't throw his own flag because he was going to the turf.
Hey, guys, I'm down here near the field, and a couple of his referee buddies,
he's
they were laughing and smiling.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be trending on Twitter. I already know, boys. I don't even know what Twitter is, but my grandkids tell me about it.
Well, now here's Kansas City going to go for 2 with Matt McGloin at quarterback. Kerwin Williams as the running back. McGloin rolling out to his right. McGloin throwing back across his body, and they convert the 2-point conversion. Making the catch is Byron Pringle, the free agent rookie out of Kansas State. It has been all Kansas City here in the second half.
Seeing some of that youth show up. You see 53 there running right by an open receiver. Remember we talked before about Plaster. We had a heck of a play in the end zone by the starters, knowing what to do in that situation there. They're just eyes on the quarterback. They're running, ran right by an open receiver. Easy pitch and catch for KC.
So Dan Quinn now in his 4th year as the head coach. Thomas Dimitroff in his 11th year as a general manager, sitting next to the owner of the Falcons, Arthur Blank.
Dimitroff knows how to build and keep a team. They have a chance to go to the playoffs for 3 straight seasons. Only 3 other teams can say that. You know, this organization has become one of the most respected in the league. It's stabilized now. Even with the past few months, they locked up their star quarterback, receiver, offensive lineman, head coach, and himself. He's got a new contract. Last season, Atlanta had 17 starters who were drafted or signed as college free agents. That's incredible to me. To spot the talent, to bring them into a coach who knows how to develop it. Incredible work by Thomas Dimitroff and his staff. Here's a look at the consecutive playoffs that this team has been to. And there aren't many in the league who have that perennial powerhouse and ability to get back to the postseason. You see 9 times with Tom Brady and the Pats. The Steelers have been there 4 seasons in a row. The Chiefs at 3, and the Falcons, the only NFC team who repeated a playoff appearance.
And obviously the Chiefs did it with Alex Smith at quarterback. He's now in Washington. And so now they're trying to go to a 4th straight with Patrick Mahomes as their starter. Some confusion here offensively for the Falcons. Bankert on 1st down. Hands off to Malik Williams. And Williams gets 7 yards on 1st down. 2nd down and 3 coming up. So you talk about Thomas Dimitroff, and let's talk about the return game, because we've already seen Ito Smith have some problems muffing some kickoffs, 2 of them. We just saw Marvin Hall muff a kickoff, so 3 muffed kickoffs on special teams. A chance, an opportunity for those players to show something, and that's not what they want to show on film.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's one of your open starting jobs, right? Your returner from a year ago is off to another organization. Who's going to step in? And the first thing they have to be able to do is catch the ball, right? So that can be disheartening at times because you want to have the basics down. They need to have a guy, as I said before, that they can trust back there to secure the football, and then, oh, by the way, get some positive yards. So still some work to do in figuring out here in the preseason, specifically right there at the returner positions, both punt and kickoff return.
We saw Calvin Ridley on the opening kickoff return at 35 yards. Does he become too valuable of a piece to allow him to return kicks? The pass over the middle is incomplete to Cody Pearson, trying to reach behind him, could not hang on. He got hit by Dorian O'Daniel, who's been busy here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's Pearson almost got racked right there. It was a good job by the defender of actually keeping his helmet out of it, but it's one of those things where you're zone defense and you want to sit it down. Coach is telling him, no, that was zone. Sit it down the window. Don't keep running into some defender zone, or that's what can happen. You get lit up.
Kerwin Williams is back deep to field the punt by Matt Bosher. A good punt. A flag is thrown as Williams gets tackled. A 55-yard punt by Matt Bosher. The tackle by Isaiah Oliver. Flag is thrown. A hat is off.
Nice tackle by Oliver there.
14 penalties in this game.
Just, I want to go back to what you talked about. If Calvin really was too big of a weapon to possibly return kicks, I think he found a way to get him the football. There's going to be a lot of chances for him to get the football in space, but you still got Julio and Sanu and Devontae and Tevin. Those are guys you want to feature as well. So anytime you get a chance to get the ball in his hands even more, I think you try to do it. So putting him back there, I think, is a viable asset for the Falcons.
Both, and Shock, I'll follow it up with this. Is it both on kickoffs and punts, or just one or the other?
Yeah, I think it's just one or the other. You got some other guys who are vying for that punt return spot.
There are 2 fouls on the receiving team. Holding, number 81, that penalty's declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 43, that penalty will be accepted, 15 yards, first down.
It will be Chiefs ball when we come back as they lead by 14 with just over 8 minutes to go. It's preseason. The score doesn't matter. Of course they're still smiling. 28-14. That's the score here with 8:09 to go. Those fans are happy.
Those Minnie Mouse blinged out ears, never seen them before.
I believe your daughter's going to want them.
Yes, I'm learning.
On first down, backed up deep in their own territory are the Chiefs. A 2-yard run here by Kerwin Williams. Some notes from this game. Matt Ryan, 5 of 7, 90 yards and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley had his first touchdown. Ito Smith got 13 carries. Marcellus Branch, 5 tackles on defense for the Falcons thus far.
And if we could put the entire offensive line up there, we would. They've been outstanding tonight. Great job in the run game, giving the offense a threat there. That's allowed the pass offense to come to life as well, operating on all cylinders, especially that first team.
McGloin on the slant completes the pass to Byron Pringle. And that's a 9-yard completion for the first down. This is kind of like the opposite of last week's game here for the Falcons. Last week, the first half, not good. Second half, Banker kind of brought some life to the team, and they picked up. They started moving the ball. This week, the first half was great. Offensively, defensively, with the exception of that one play, the 69-yard touchdown pass at the end of the half. Second half, virtually non-existent offensively.
Yeah, and you're getting some of that inexperience in there. I like what I'm seeing, though, so far out of this drive of the defensive line. They're being stout up there. They were way too soft last week. So we'll see how they do here the rest of this. About 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Some guys can really make a name for themselves, show that they belong, show that they have that effort. I mean, that's more than anything. With these guys, you have to show that you look the part when you put on that Falcons red, especially on the defense, and that Keith Armstrong can envision using you in special teams and making plays. See if anyone flashes here in the final minutes of the game.
Second down and 10. McGloin, a low throw. Brought in by J.U. Chesson, second-year player out of Michigan.
With a 3rd and 4 here, you wonder, they've been doing a lot of rolling out, a lot of boots, and get the quarterback on the move tonight. Now, the Falcons defense, they're probably going to want to go with that 4 underneath zone. They may show some linebackers up in the gaps to look like a blitz, but I would think they would want to keep it simple for this young defense to read their keys and try to make a play before the sticks.
3rd and 5 here for Kansas City. McGloin drops it off. Another missed tackle here by the Falcons, and the first down is made by Kerwin Williams.
Yeah, we have another missed tackle. That's 5 on the night now, and that time it was Marcellus Branch. So 6 total missed tackles on the night, and not a lot from that first team. The first team looked outstanding. Some of these younger guys, it's almost like slow it down a little bit, right? I mean, I know it's kind of.
At what point does it slow down for you?
It may never, and that's what separates, the mighty from the mundane, right? Some guys can adapt to this level and adjust. Again, a lot of rookies out here, and they may not have what it takes. to play at this level. A lot of guys just playing outside of themselves right now.
Falcons fans score a touchdown with low tire prices at Kaufman Tire, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit KaufmanTire.com to find a store near you. 28-14. Kansas City leading Atlanta here in the fourth quarter.
Guys, you talked about does it ever slow down for some of these guys? And
yeah.
you got to think about for some of these rookies, too. They're still learning this defense. They're still learning this offense. So their mind is still spinning at times. So they're trying to catch up as well as play with the same speed. So they just can't keep up with that same pace right now.
2nd down and 9. And there's a flag. Most likely pass interference against Deontay Burton against J.U. Chesson.
That was tough as a defender. I mean, I didn't see that he tried to.
You think it's going the other way?
No. I think they probably did throw the flag on the defender there, and that was Burton. But it could be offensive as well, because I didn't see the defender reach in. It looked like their feet got tangled up, if anything.
There are fouls on both teams. Pass interference, number 80 of the offense. Pass interference on the defense. Those penalties offset. Repeat, 2nd down.
Okay. So as I was saying, what I saw here and there, kind of both, they saw it as well. So there's the offensive. And then the defender, they did call him there. I guess that little
there's
tug.
him on the reach right there.
Pulling defensive pass interference.
Little tug with the left hand. But offsetting. And here we go. 2nd and 9.
Under 4 to play here in this fourth quarter. McGloin goes to the tight end, Jace Amaro. And don't forget, we've got 2 more preseason games coming up. Next Saturday, 7 p.m. in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. Then 1 more back here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Thursday, August 30th against the Miami Dolphins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then it's the real thing. Cuts will be made, rosters finalized. We'll be all set to start week 1. 3rd down and 8. McGloin to Amaro again, right at the sticks and right past the sticks for the 1st down. Coy, all right, you did play in the league for a long time, so eventually the game slowed down for you. At what point do you remember that rookie year when it did slow down?
Honestly, the rookie year, it didn't happen for me.
It did not.
It didn't happen for me. I mean, my head was spinning. I was out there,
just fake it till you'll make it.
Yeah, I mean, and it was all effort for me. It was all effort for me. I was 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing, whatever I was, and the coaches like that, they kept me around. But you hear Quinn talk about all the time, from years 1 to year 2, you see a huge jump. Year 2, I felt like a completely different player. And so it's these guys who want to make the team, they want to flash just enough to say, hey, keep me around. And then you have the opportunity to really learn how to play the game at this level. And also years 2 to 3, you see a jump as well. Brian Poole in that category tonight. You see him out here playing. He looks like a beast at the nickel position tonight. His 3rd year
Atlanta,
is really showing up.
30-second timeout.
Atlanta calls a timeout here with 2:22 to go. Why, though, did it slow down for you between year 1 and year 2? Was it somebody taught you how to watch film correctly, dissect film differently? What was it that allowed you to slow that game down?
It absolutely, first half of the rookie season, it was the speed of the game. It is another level. I mean, we watch it on TV, we watch everything in slow motion, but when you get down there on the field and on the sideline even, you see how fast this game is. That was a big part of it. And then yes, it's how to study. I had a guy like Troy Vincent, who he's a pretty good player in this league, and I would ask him questions, and it's learning and adapting. And that's why the Falcons get so much production out of their younger players, because Coach Quinn makes the veterans take a rookie under their wing. They have this internal mentorship program that really helps this young talent develop.
Team timeout.
Another timeout taken here by the Falcons as we look ahead. We talked about the next 2 preseason games, and then the real thing begins. This is what the first 7 games look like for these Falcons. They open up the season against the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, in Philadelphia on Thursday, September 6th. Then they're home against the Carolina Panthers. 3 straight home games: Carolina, New Orleans, Cincinnati, then at Pittsburgh, home against Tampa Bay and New York. A lot of home games to open up the season.
It is. You know, look at that Pennsylvania sandwich, as I saw it described by one writer, starting out at Philly and then in week 5 at Pittsburgh. And in between there, you have some pretty good teams. Those 4 out of those first 5 games, man, they can make or break the season.
And here on 3rd and 1, the defense trying to make the stand. It looks like it's going to be just shy of that first down marker. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. And it looks like 4th down will be coming up. 28-14, Chiefs leading. 2 minutes to go, 14-point game, and it's 4th and less than a yard coming up here for the Chiefs, excuse me, but they have got their punter out there on the field, and that's Dustin Colquitt. Do they try for a fake? Nope. And it's Isaiah Oliver back, and he lets it bounce. And this will take a Falcons bounce and be downed at the 11-yard line. Falcons fans score touchdown with low tire prices at Kaufman Tire, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit KaufmanTire.com to find a store near you. So 1:50 to go. Coy, Shock, I'm going to ask you guys both this question. What do you take away from this game here tonight?
Well, I'll start it off, and for me, it's the offense. It's real. The weaponry is real. We talked about how many different ways this team can attack at every position. Incredible playmakers, and they showed tonight. Calvin Ridley really jumped out to me.
Garrett Grayson is now in at quarterback here for the Falcons. His first pass is incomplete. Shock, how about you?
I thought this team was challenged coming into this ball game, especially with the output you put out last week. And I thought in the trenches, they responded. Offensive line, D-line, they responded. They moved guys. They got to that next level. And you saw it in the run game. You saw it in the pass game. They were well balanced on both sides of the ball. And it showed today. And you can see when they put it all together, they're a pretty good-looking team.
That first half, they were putting it together both offensively and defensively. Second half, the starters have been resting. The handoff here to Terrence McGee. Third down coming up.
When you think also, we talk about the good, but what about the questionable? Special teams aspect of the game. They gave up a lot of return yards tonight, over 100 of them. And then on the return game, he had some dropped punts and kickoffs, and that can't happen. So that's something to look at heading into next week.
Also defensively, kind of similar to what we saw last week, a lot of missed tackles. I know it was some of the younger guys, but they're expected to be able to tackle, and you got to be able to tackle in space. They put you in position to make plays. You got to make them when they're there.
Garrett Grayson stepping up, trying to avoid the pressure. He does, and he throws it to McGee, and they're going to say that's a fumble. They blow the whistle now as it's recovered by Raymond Davison. I never thought he had possession.
And that's that new catch rule, right? I mean,
they have a catch and a fumble. Recovery by Kansas City, first down.
They're obviously going to look at this because it's a turnover, so that'll be automatically reviewed.
The new catch rule, I'm not saying it's simple to call and see when the action's happening fast, but the rule is this: if you have control with 2 feet or another body part down, or you make a football move, it's a catch. So we'll see when this replay here, we get it nice and slowed down for you. Did he have control with 2 feet down and make a football
play
move?
Will be reviewed.
I just don't know if he had control.
Yeah, from this angle, obviously it didn't look like it. We'll see what else we can show you. But to me, again, this happens fast. These officials out there, they do the best they can. But this is one of those new rules that they're hoping can really take away a lot of these questionable plays over the past several years here in the league.
And again, the officials are taught in that situation, don't blow the whistle and rule it dead. This way you can go back and review it and reverse the call if it was in fact a drop pass as opposed to a fumble.
Yep.
But Terrence McGee, let's take a look right here.
They're saying he had control, and it was tough there. Saying he had control and made a football move, right? He turned to get upfield.
How about the tackle by Garrett Grayson?
It's almost as good as the turf monster.
Put that on film.
Almost as effective as the turf monster. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
I don't understand why you guys are surprised. Quarterbacks are one of the toughest guys on the field. We can make tackles. Come on.
We saw Shock doing push-ups before.
Honestly, that is an impressive tackle.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Coy. With all the rule changes going on, do you think this will stay or be reversed?
I think this is going to be reversed. I didn't see that he had control. But again, this was our best angle at it, and tough to tell. I mean, he certainly made a football move, appeared to make the catch and make a football move, and had 2 feet down, but I didn't ever see that he had control of the ball.
I'm with you. However, is there conclusive evidence to overturn it?
Because it was ruled a fumble on the field, it has to be beyond the shadow of a doubt that it's going the other way. They might not have that.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah.
There you go. Stands, not confirmed. So a fumble by McGee, a forced fumble by Armani Watts, and a recovery by Raymond Davison.
Yeah, they're saying he had control and great job by the defender there, putting a hand on the rock and create that turnover. Chiefs now just going to down this and run out the clock for the win.
So the Chiefs, who lost last week to the Texans 17-10, they were down early in this one 14-3. They will close out this game and defeat the Falcons 28-14. Again, it was a really good start for the Falcons, their first team behind Matt Ryan. They did not play Julio Jones. They did not play Devontae Freeman. But they looked good, whether it was Matt Ryan at quarterback, Matt Schaub at quarterback. The offense looked good early. The defense looked good early. The second half, that may be something different.
Yeah, and the offense specifically with Matt Ryan, you know, he told us that in year 2 with Steve Sarkisian, he has shown us that he now has more awareness about the players, about the personnel, who to use in which situations, how to use them as well. That's shown him tonight.
All right, don't forget our next Falcons telecast comes next Saturday at Jacksonville, August 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, the final score here tonight, 28-14. Coming up next, it's Inside the Locker Room with Randy Waters for Coy Wire and DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta Falcons preseason football has been sponsored in part by SunTrust. Confidence starts here. By Georgia Power, proud to bring winning energy to fans like you. Visit georgiapower.com/sports. And by Emory Healthcare, the official team healthcare provider of the Atlanta Falcons. Stick around for Inside the Locker Room with Randy Waters from our Atlanta studio.